recent history is any guide, the opposite is likely to happen. Does anyone think 19 years in Afghanistan has improved America? Look around, obviously it hasn't. Part of the problem is that tar pits like Afghanistan and Iraq and now Iran distract our leaders from the business they were hired to conduct, which of course is improving our lives. That's why we hire them. That's why you vote for them. Making Cleveland better is a lot harder, a lot less fun than lobbing cruise missiles into Syria, and yet it's incalculably more important. You need to make Cleveland better, but that doesn't even occur to them. For the next week, we'd like to remind Washington what their basic duty is. Their basic duty is to improve our lives. And that's why tonight we're beginning our series, American Dystopia. It's a close look at what is happening and what has happened under the leadership of Washington to America's greatest cities. Maybe its greatest city of all, San Francisco. It's hard to wreck a place as beautiful as San Francisco, but they have effectively done it. The reality of that city, we discovered when we spent time there, is even worse than you may have heard. Civilization itself is coming apart in San Francisco, right there in broad daylight, on the city's sidewalks, which are littered with junkies and feces and dirty needles. The jewel of our Pacific coast is now filthier and more chaotic than downtown Mumbai, India, literally. How did that happen? We need to know. Here's the first installment in our 5-part series, but a warning. Some of the footage we shot is graphic and disturbing, and as you watch it, remember this. This is what they would like to do to your neighborhood. At this intersection, just 4 blocks from City Hall, drug addicts were frantically looking for a drug to reverse an opioid overdose. Down the street, paramedics were rushing to help a man who had just overdosed on the sidewalk.
And to say this city is messed up is very messed up.
Such scenes are becoming common in San Francisco, where the city's left-wing officials no longer enforce so-called quality-of-life crimes like public urination or defecation or even open-air drug use.
What do they call it? San Fran Psycho?
Tracy McCrae is a lieutenant in the San Francisco Police Department.
If I went into a store and stole a PlayStation, what would happen?
If it's under $950, you get a citation.
If I smoked crack on the street, what would happen?
Citation.
If I exposed myself in a public park, what would happen?
No, citation.
If I camped on a sidewalk, what would happen?
Warning, maybe a citation.
If I broke somebody's car window, what would happen?
Again, under $950, citation.
If I stole somebody's wallet or purse, what would happen?
No force or fear used, you just took it. And if we caught you, citation.
Pimp to prostitute, what would happen?
Yeah, no, nothing.
If I was carrying an illegal firearm, what would happen?
Discharged, pending further review, you'd be back out on the street.
Police say those citations are handed off to prosecutors who do nothing.
Right then and there, they will make the decision whether it will get charged or not. And the most times it's like, nope, not charged. Nope, not charged.
Many criminals never even step foot in a courtroom. Among America's 20 largest cities, San Francisco now has the highest rate of property crime. Violent crime on its mass transit system doubled from 2014 to 2018.
Just ask anybody. You know it. We feel it. Crime is really out of control. And whether it's property crime or even violent crime, it's scary.
Addicts do drugs on the sidewalk. Homeless people defecate in the street. Smash and grabs happen more than 60 times a day. Many go unreported because victims know the laws won't be enforced.
Our car windows got busted. I didn't bother making a report.
You're in the police department.
Hey, we're not immune to that. We're not immune to that at all.
Criminals act with impunity because they know there aren't consequences. We film drug dealers selling drugs in broad daylight.
Do the police officers know who the drug dealers are?
Yes, they do. We make these arrests, we get a solid report, we hand it off. I could come back for my days off and they're back out on the street.
San Francisco has definitely become more dirty, more dangerous.
Yeah, film me, motherfucker. I'll kill you.
Rather than confront the drug use like a normal city, San Francisco enables drug use by distributing roughly 400,000 free syringes every month. City leaders say that giving out syringes reduces the risk of disease.
Of course, no one wants to have somebody get HIV or Hep C, but the unintended consequences is insanity.
And even though city leaders bill the syringe program as an exchange, only 60% are ever returned, meaning they're giving needles to drug addicts.
It's like a minefield because you never know what's coming around the corner.
So we give as many needles as we possibly can. Well, they end up here. They end up here. It is dangerous, disgusting, and it's got to stop.
Our producer and camera crew spent a lot of time in San Francisco, and we have a lot more footage to show you from that city. If you've been there or know it, it's heartbreaking, but you need to see it because this is happening to your country. Our American Dystopia series continues every night this week. Tomorrow, we'll introduce you to a businessman, a small businessman, struggling to run a grocery store in a city where the law isn't enforced. It's hard to believe it's your country, but again, you need to see this.